It's our first show of 2018, but if you've been with Justice for much of the past or any of the past 6 years, you know there's one topic that really gets my goat. So we begin with the gift that keeps on giving, Hillary Clinton, and the organized criminal enterprise parading as a 501c3 charity known as the Clinton Foundation that is now officially under federal criminal investigation. The largest unprosecuted charity fraud in American history is about to see some comeuppance. Now, the ruthless, profit-driven woman who was all about money and power on her attempted ascension to the presidency as she covered for her sexual predator husband and her sexual predator financial supporters in that den of iniquity known as Hollywood is now about to face a real investigation. Not a matter like Loretta Lynch and Jim Comey like to call the work of the hardworking men and women of the FBI. Not a review, but a hard-charging criminal investigation with a prosecutor bent on truth and justice. Never in the history of this country has a candidate for any major office skirted the law, pushed the legal envelope, or been under criminal investigation as much as Hillary Clinton, nor has anyone lied, contradicted herself, or run as a less honest and trustworthy candidate in American history. Now, Department of Justice sources tell me today that this investigation has actually been ongoing and that Attorney General Jeff Sessions has directed that sufficient resources be given to the case that was left dormant during the Obama administration. Okay, so is this about politics? Ask yourselves. How do two people who start with nothing, who work in government most of their lives without a business, without a product, without a website, amass hundreds of millions of dollars that we know of? What was this Clinton Foundation? What was this Clinton Foundation Global Initiative? And why so many intersections between the State Department and contributions to the foundation? A lot of questions remain unanswered. Now, if you've watched this show, you know how angry I am about the State Department's approval of the sale of 20% of our uranium to a Russian company. Uranium essential to make Moly 99, used for medical nuclear imaging, that we now buy from foreign countries that by American law must be produced in America, but our Department of Energy won't even put money in their budget to allow for the creation of American-made Moly 99 that millions of Americans like me who have cancer or other health issues use to get better. And like pigs at the trough, the Clintons maneuvered $145 million from the Russian company to their so-called foundation. $500,000 speaking fee to Bill, and additionally more than $30 million, which of course the Clintons didn't disclose. And for those of you who sit there and say, well, it was the Committee on Foreign Investments in the United States, CFIUS, that approved the sale to the Russian company of our American uranium, I got news for you. The State Department is the big dog in this decision, and 7 of the 9 CFIUS members are connected to the Clinton Foundation. Put those puppies under oath and watch them squirm. And why was a guy named Pinchuk, who builds steel pipes in the Ukraine, doing business with Iran and thus violating U.S. law, not sanctioned by Hillary's State Department? Here's another shock. The Clinton Foundation received millions from Pinchuk with an additional pledge of 20 more million. And why? When 316,000 people die in Haiti, do Bill and Hillary rush there and within hours promote a phone system by a man who becomes the biggest player of mobile phones in Haiti? Because their friend, that man, Dennis O'Brien, then contributes millions to the Clinton Foundation. The Clintons' influence peddling was on a global scale, with Bill as the world's middleman, setting American foreign policy to coincide with the flow of hundreds of millions of dollars to the foundation, as well as cash, directly into Bill's pocket and ultimately to Hillary. I'm not going to go through it all. But according to Charles Ortel, an expert in analyzing forensic records like these, there's been no real audit of this alleged charitable foundation, which spends more money on salaries, expenses, airfare of mostly Clinton comrades and former Clinton campaign workers. There was also no explanation of payments to members of the Clinton Foundation for the services and reimbursement of expenses by donors to the foundation. If you're wondering what that means, think money laundering. Still skeptical? I ask, how many of you have ever seen a hospital wing or a medical center with the name the Clinton Wing or the Hillary Clinton Center for Women's Medical Health? None, because there are none. Their big kahuna is that they're working on a drug to cure AIDS, which they pursued as part of their presidential library. The Clinton Foundation was promoting the use of potentially adulterated HIV and AIDS drugs from 2003 to 2009 when Rod Rosenstein was a U.S. attorney in Maryland. He won a $500 million penalty against the Indian manufacturer of the generic drug, but no finding against the Clintons. Why, when he was the United States attorney, did Rosenstein fail to require the laureate education and Clinton Foundation to explain how the Clinton Global Initiative University was organized? Tax filings for 6 years do not explain what Bill Clinton did for $18 million paid to him as a part-time chancellor while he held roles at the Clinton Foundation. Why? Because it's all the same players who we now know rigged the investigation of Hillary's email case. And for all those naysayers who say this is nothing more than a deflection from the Mueller investigation, I got a tip for you. Keep your mouths shut. This is as dirty as it gets. Mueller was the head of the FBI for all the years that the Clinton Foundation was protected, and Jim Comey was the Deputy Attorney General for all those years. And if we've learned anything in the last 6 months, it's that Jim Comey's rigged the investigation for his friend Hillary and made sure that Bob Mueller would be appointed so that they could cover their own butts while trying to point a finger at the president, who has done nothing but improve our economy, our safety, our security, and our independence. That's my open. Tell me what you think on my Facebook page, Twitter, and Instagram. Hashtag Judge Janine.
The Fake News Awards. That's the subject of tonight's Waters Words. On Tuesday, President Trump tweeted, "I will be announcing the most dishonest and corrupt media awards of the year on Monday at 5 o'clock. Subjects will cover dishonesty and bad reporting in various categories from the fake news media. Stay tuned." The president is very busy, so we wanted to help him out. Therefore, Waters World is nominating Newsweek's senior writer Kurt Eichenwald for an award. Kurt caught our attention with these tweets right before Donald Trump's election. "In preparation for a completely unpredictable Trump presidency, I sold all stocks in my kids' education accounts today. I urge you to do the same." Ouch. And more. "I hate to say this, but against my investment advisor's recommendation, I sold all stocks and went all cash months ago, just in case." Now, the Dow just soared past 25,000, and Kurt missed out on a 30% stock market rally under Trump. This would be one of the many mistakes Mr. Eichenwald made this year. While posting some hate mail he'd gotten on Twitter, Kurt accidentally posted porn that he'd been looking at. The Newsweek reporter tweeted a screenshot of his computer with a tab open containing animated Japanese pornography. Here was his explanation. Sigh. "Okay, I'm a dumbass. I believe it or not, my kids and I were trying to convince my wife that tentacle porn existed. I tried to find some to show her it was real, but I couldn't find any and ended up with this. My family reads my Twitter feed, so they know this is true." Who knows if this is true? but Eichenwald doesn't always tell the truth. Check out this story he wrote. Ready? Right-wing extremists are a bigger threat to America than ISIS. False, Kurt. Over the last 15 years, radical Islamic extremists have killed more people in the United States than right-wing extremists have. Look it up. Kurt also accused Trump supporters of booing astronaut John Glenn at a rally. Here's his tweet. Trump supporters booed John Glenn when Trump mentioned his name at today's rally, a real American hero who risked his life for us. They booed. Fake news, Kurt. Footage of the event shows Trump supporters weren't booing Glenn, but booing protesters who were heckling the president. Kurt was forced to retract the tweet later, but it had already been retweeted 4,000 times. That's literally how fake news spreads. Eichenwald himself went viral after he claimed Donald Trump was institutionalized at a loony bin years ago without any proof. Tucker Carlson challenged Eichenwald to back it up, and sadly, he could not.
You said he was in a mental hospital in 1990. Was he or wasn't he? It's a really simple question. I'm asking you to finish. Please answer the question.
If you don't like the answer, don't have guests. But I would really like to answer your question.
It's a simple question. Was he in a mental hospital, as you claimed, or wasn't he?
Tucker, would you like me to answer the question or not? If the answer is no, say so.
Was he in a mental hospital in 1990, as you alleged, or was he not?
Let me answer the question.
Go ahead.
Look, you're not fooling anybody. You're trying to stop me from giving the answer. So let me give you the answer.
This is a little nutty. I got to be honest.
That actually went on for 9 minutes. 9 minutes. This so-called journalist crossed so many lines this year, it's so hard to count. But here are two very egregious examples. You ready for this? Here's a tweet. Again, I rarely curse on this feed, but Kellyanne Conway now telling critics to be careful with what they say. F you, Kelly. This is America. Wow. And this one. Nobody tell me how to feel, knowing if I lose my insurance, I'm dead. I want the GOPers who support this to feel the pain in their own families as ones with pre-existing condition. I hope every GOPer who voted for Trump Care sees a family member get long-term condition, lose insurance, and die. F you and die. That's how a well-educated mainstream media reporter talks to Republicans. Now, Kurt likes to think of himself as well-educated, but continues to get humiliated by experts online. Here is Eichenwald pretending to be a political scientist. Quote, rage does not work as political opposition, moral high ground, peaceful engagement, asking respectful questions of opponents, these work. Do they really? The claim elicited this response. As a historian, I would like to say, this is terrible advice. My evidence is all of history. And here's Eichenwald claiming he predicted Hurricane Irma. Ready? I'm not a scientist. I used a climate change equation and using sea surface temperatures, predicted Irma intensity, growth, and timing. 100% correct. Ready? Here's meteorologist Ryan Mao. He disagrees. I am a hurricane scientist, and this is BS. That's all. So between the dishonest reporting, embarrassing takes, and sloppy analysis, it is my honor to nominate Newsweek writer Kurt Eichenwald for the Fake News Award.
By the way, the producers asked me to tell you this is a unicorn horn. In case you don't get any ideas and I'm into something really weird. Anyway. All aboard for Trump's award. Donald has sent over 37,000 tweets in his lifetime, but this week's may have been a keeper. Quote, I will be announcing the most dishonest and corrupt media awards of the year on Monday at 5 o'clock. Awesome. That's when the 5 is on. He's going to make Monday so easy for me. I'm going to be drunk. No pants under the desk. Thanks, Mr. President. I'm not even going to shave my face. All right. But that award name is kind of a mouthful. The most dishonest and corrupt media awards. How about we just call them the Discos, which is short for dishonest and corrupt. See, Discos. And it'll cover dishonesty and bad reporting in different categories. Although I'm not sure what that means. Maybe Trump's breaking it down by gender, like worst male performance, worst female performance, or by policy, worst domestic fake news, worst foreign fake news, or the big one, which I guess would be the best picture of fake news, my vote's for Brian Ross and his overblown story about Donald Trump and Russia, which led to this.
Breaking news.
Oh, my God. Oh, breaking news. ABC News' Brian Ross is reporting Michael Flynn promised full cooperation to the Mueller team and is prepared to testify that as a candidate, Donald Trump directed him to make contact with the Russians. Yeah!
That didn't work out. I think the breaking news there was that you could read. Anyway. Poor guy got suspended. Anyway, all right, Tom, what do you make of these awards?
There's going to be 5,000 nominees in each category. First of all, it's a train wreck. I watched another network that rhymes with CMM on the night that Trump was elected at 3 in the morning just to watch them have a nervous breakdown.
Yeah,
They were literally tears.
I know, there were people crying.
Stephanopoulos was like weeping.
Yes.
So I just think it's going to be a field day. You know, that's why he tweets, because he needs to connect with people directly, and because the media is just going to besmirch him and throw him under the bus at every turn.
Besmirch? Sorry.
I said besmirch. I did.
You like that word, don't you?
Yeah.
That's in my head forever.
Yeah, it is a great word. Kat, how should the media respond to this? Should they?
They're going to love it.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. 2 reasons. Anybody who wins one of these will love it. First of all, they don't like President Trump, so they'll say his dismissal is a compliment. Also, nobody's in the public eye or pursues a career where they're going to be in the public eye if they don't, on some level, think all recognition is good.
Mm-hmm.
Like me, for example.
Yes.
I won the messiest desk award every single year in grade school.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that it's not technically an award, but I was getting my name out there.
You know, it's true. It's true. And you haven't changed at all. I mean,
No.
it's spread beyond your desk, I am afraid.
Well, now that my desk is so messy at work, other people just put their trash on it because they assume I won't notice.
Yeah, they're trash.
It's it's not all, it's about 70% my trash.
Yes,
That 30% is very rude.
All right, Rob, do you think, I think this actually helps the media. He helps the media because I call it the PTW, prove Trump wrong effect. So you know you don't want him to have any ammo, so you actually better yourself.
Well, I mean, they're taking advantage of this right now. They're putting out ads in Times Square and front page things in newspapers.
True.
Like Trevor Noah and Stephen Colbert. They're having fun with it, and I wish it could be at a point where you could make light of some of the stuff, and maybe one of the things where we learn from differences, not from all agreeing. It's like for me, like patriotism isn't where we're like Joy Behar cheering because the president might fail, which means the country might fail, and my party wins. Mm-hmm. You know, we should be for America. I don't know what the point I'm getting at, but there's no. But I mean, even at a point working for Fox News, and all of a sudden when Fox News says something must be wrong, and everyone else is right. You know, it's just this weird this political thing. Hillary Clinton. 33,000 deleted emails after a subpoena from Congress, and they're like, oh, that was just misplacement. You don't misplace 33,000 emails, and then in case you can't find the delete folder, you go outside and shatter the damn hard drive.
Yeah, I know.
But they won't report that because that was just, she just didn't know what she was doing.
If she deleted, I just want to know how to do that. If that turns out that it's true, because that's a lot of pressing, Tyrus. A lot of pressing. All right. That's your life. That's going to be your life. All right. What do you make of these awards?
Well, not just the awards, but it's actually besmirched the NFL. Ratings are down on all the other major things because of all this feud between President Trump and the media. Yeah. And I think most of these reporters, it's an award. I bet they'll rock the trophy.
Yeah, that's true.
I bet they'll take it. They'll be like, oh, I'll wear it as a badge of honor.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Is there a check?
Yeah.
I mean, literally, they will not resist, because if it was really about their integrity or whatever, they wouldn't acknowledge it. Just like they tell you, ignore somebody or whatever, they wouldn't acknowledge, but they are acknowledging, because one, it'll get them some more ratings. People will want to see what their response is. And two, if he does, and usually President Trump, everything he does is big time, there'll probably be some lovely trophies to the point where I might want to drop some lies about him this weekend so I could possibly pick one up. Here's one better. I wish he'd push it back. We could host it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You know what I'm saying? I would host it in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if we'd be allowed to, though.
Why not?
You know, I think.
You think we're up for one?
I think we might be. You know, I think.
I mean, it's a trophy.
I think Stelter should get one. You know, Stelter's really grown up. He was a guest on Red Eye. I think I gave that little fella his start, and look where he is now.
Or scarred him to make him what he is today.
I think that he should win the. I don't know what it is.
Creepy guy award?
Well, no, best. I guess overall best disco, because if you look at him, he kind of reminds me of the strobe light from Saturday Night Fever.
Welcome back to Justice. You can always count on The View's Joy Behar to really elevate a political debate.
Trump needs to be medicated and hospitalized at this point, or he is going to just kill all of us. And, you know, my feeling is that probably they're getting closer to him in the Mueller investigation. And that's what this is about, a lot of it. It's like he'll blow the whole world up so his stupid sons don't have to go to jail.
And that's just one of the most outrageous things I heard this week. Joining me now to talk about it all, actor and comedian, the one and only Saturday Night Live alum, Joe Piscopo. Hi, Joe.
Hi, Judge. It's so good to see you.
Good to be with you on Saturday night.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of Joy Behar?
Well, I've known her so many years. I have trouble attacking anybody anymore. I'm trying to keep everything nice. But didn't that report, that fake news report, come across ABC? And then that just happened a couple weeks ago. So they revisited that this week already?
Yeah. All right. You're talking about Brian Ross.
Yeah.
She came out and said, yeah, the president's going to be indicted. Yeah, Russian collusion. She messed that one up. Now she's talking about the president needs his meds.
Everybody's got to relax. Well, everybody please stop and relax.
No, don't relax. I don't want to relax. Here's the thing. Just don't lie. Joe, don't lie. I don't like people who lie.
I know, but they're like obsessed with going after the president on every which way, where they never pick on anybody on the left, you know? Where
of course
some
not.
of the guys on the left, and there's some great material on the left that has to be made fun of, and I would like to see that as well.
Okay, all right. So there's some great material on the left. What do we got next? We've got Meryl Streep. Let's see that one.
Oh.
Okay, Meryl Streep says, I don't want to hear about the silence of me. I want to hear about the silence of Melania Trump. I want to hear from her. She has so much that's valuable to say, and so does Ivanka. I want her to speak now. Now, this is hogwash from Meryl Streep, and there's a video that we have that's being of posters all over L.A. I think we should put it up now, guys. Of Meryl Streep, that she knew about Harvey Weinstein. She said nothing. And even I said in my open that this woman is an icon in Hollywood. You want to tell me that half of these women who were hit on by what's his name?
Harvey.
That they didn't say to her, look, he's hitting on me?
You know, she's one of the most gifted actresses in the world.
Who cares? Why are you being so nice tonight?
I don't want to go after anybody. You got to think, first of all, don't go after Melania. Don't go after Melania is magnificent. You know. And you're on the inside.
She's elegant. She's brilliant. Speaks 5 languages. These bozos can't compare to her.
And she's a great role model for women. I'm the father of 3 daughters.
Are you? You got 3 girls?
3 girls. I know. I got 5 kids. You know what I always say in Jersey? I have a child at every exit. You know that. So I said, I'm at the SNL at 40, and I said this before on the network, and then I remember the girl I was with kind of pokes me that Donald Trump's down. He was there with Melania. I lean over up there at Studio 8H. Listen, and then so Melania I catch Melania's eye. She elbows Donald like they're a cute, very cute couple. People don't know
I knew
this.
them when they were dating.
She elbows him and says, look, oh, say hi to your pal Joe. I wave hey like this. That's the Melania I know. Plus, she's bringing at-risk children to the White House.
We're not talking about Melania. Talk about Meryl Streep.
But she's going after. She went after Melania. She went after Ivanka.
Yeah, and Harvey Weinstein, her pal. How many movies did she do with Harvey Weinstein? You want to tell me she didn't know?
Yeah, she must have known. But they should go after somebody like Maxine Waters. That's if they want to go after somebody, Maxine Waters.
All right, go after Maxine.
just to be funny, like Leslie Jones on SNL. I'd love to see that. Leslie doing Maxine Waters on
She could
Saturday
do
Night
Maxine
Live.
Waters.
Oh,
Why doesn't she?
I don't know why they don't go. Why don't they do Adam Schiff? I've done this before. Adam Schiff is so funny with his eyes. He's so obsessed with the Russian probe. And no disrespect to Congressman Schiff, but it's like if you look at it, no, but really, go after this guy with his eyes, the way he looks at you all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Well, this guy, he's always saying that there's something there. We haven't found it.
of the damned.
Yeah.
No, look at his eyes. No, you want single-pay health care. No, look at his eyes.
You know what? You want to talk about mental health? The Democrats are suffering from. They're unhinged.
You go at it, girl.
They're
Look at you.
suffering from depression.
You
They can't believe.
You with the shoulder thing. You still.
Yeah. See, tell my doctor. My rotator cuff. Yeah, my rotator cuff. Yeah. Stop being nice.
No, you are shred and you are jacked up. I'm telling you, your arms are like that. Yeah.
Well, wait. Okay.
Can I say that in this day and age?
Yeah, you can say it. I don't care. I don't care. I guess maybe I'm old school or something. But anyway, Meryl Streep, Joy Behar, the rest of them, they're out of their mind.
Everybody relax, please. It's going to be okay.
And they think that the president's out of his mind. Joe Piscopo, thanks for being such a nice guy.
Good. I love you, Joe.
I love you, too.